feel it in my bones, I can feel it in my veins. Hands in the sky, I can feel the winds of change. You live and you learn, and I hope I've seen enough to make something right and make up for what I've lost. I was down, but things are looking up. I wanna get high on you, caught by surprise by you. Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know it should. I wanna get high on you, caught by surprise by you. Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know it should. Things turn around, didn't ever think they could. I'm done with the bad, I need a little bit of good. Settled in the world, like everything is new. Stepped on a path that led me straight to you. I was down, but things are looking up. I wanna get high on you, caught by surprise by you. Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know it should. I wanna get high on you, caught by surprise by you. Want you to make my heart feel as much as I know it should.
Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday. How's that possible? Let's see. Julie, thanks for asking. It is smoky right now in Ashland. Today was the first day of school, so we sent Sky Guy off. We didn't really send him because he's a senior in high school this year, so he kind of sends himself off.
You tried to send him.
I tried to send him off. I did. I tried to plaster him with kisses, which he was not so enamored with that idea. He did allow me to take a front porch picture. I thought about trying to post like his kindergarten. Wow, the tech guy's opening his bubbly water. What's your flavor tonight?
Berry.
Berry.
Just
Berry.
generic berry.
Generic berry. He has this, let me show. He has like the cheap like Safeway brand. I don't know if anybody cares about brand when it comes to bubbly, but
It's water.
water's water. It's sparkling water. What was I going to say? Oh, I wanted to post the kindergarten picture with the senior picture, but I figured that might get me into like a little bit of hot water. So, you know. Oh, I'm just drinking water out of my cute mug, which is going to be one of the things we're going to talk about tonight.
You revealed it.
I did. I was trying that. Well, I had it earlier, but I have ice. And I just choked on a piece of ice, so that's classic. That's why I should normally just drink out of my real water bottle. So I'm so curious if it's first day of school for anyone else, how you're all feeling about that. We are still in smoke season, and we're actually coming up upon the 1-year anniversary of the massive wildfire that we had here last year. So there's like some collective trauma and PTSD in the community in general. But it's really strange because depending on which way the wind blows, this morning, well, actually last night, like we slept with all the windows open. It was cool. It felt like fall. I'm wearing my fall dress. It's a very thin dress though, so it's still hot. It's not hot. I shouldn't say that. I think it was like low 80s today and cool at night. But last night, windows open, beautiful breeze, fresh air. This morning I went for a giant walk, Lithia Loop hike up in the forest. It was beautiful. And then like 2 hours later, the wind direction changed. And then we've been in like hazardous air all afternoon. So I am so ready for fall. And part of doing the Etsy shop, we're going to talk a lot about how like the evolution of it and how it came to be. But part of it is a little bit of an escape to just be like, oh, we're gonna pretend like it's all fall and just live there for a while. You go back on the 7th in Washington. It'll be your 5th year teaching. Taylin, congratulations. It's gonna be a crazy year. First half day here, Lillian, a senior and a 5th grader. Oh, I know. How does it go by so fast? They say it. You've been in a school for a month, Nicole. Wow. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Hopefully it's going well and everybody's staying safe. It's such a strange time. Hey, on that note, this has been coming up a lot on the back end of all my publishing stuff, which is that, I don't know if you've heard, but there are big supply chain issues across multiple industries, but they are anticipating that the book industry is going to take a huge hit. So if you have books that you think you might want for fall or for the holiday season, I'm not just talking about my books, I'm talking about books in general. I've already sent the tech guy a list. Actually, I haven't sent it. I've been working on it, so I'm sending it tomorrow, by the way, of books that have been on my list for the holiday season. You should pre-order or order them now. And if you can, do it from an independent bookstore, because I read this article. I don't think it was actually in Publishers Weekly. I think Publishers Weekly retweeted it about the fact that a lot of independent bookstores are not going to be able to get the normal quantities of books that they might normally get for the season. So start thinking ahead now. If you're buying books or doing anything bookish for the holiday season, that's my little tidbit to you. I didn't know. I hadn't really been paying huge attention. I should have been, because last year Without a Brew got pushed back to November because there were paper issues. I know, Julie, I hadn't either. In fact, tomorrow or maybe later this week, I'll be sure to share the article, and it talks a lot about like what we can do to help bookstores through this period too, because usually fall and the holiday season is like the big retail season for booksellers. So I'm definitely worried. Kimberly, you're an empty nester. One lives in Germany and the other's at University of Arkansas. Wow, that's like Arkansas to Germany. Where do you go? Hi, Stephanie. Your last one just graduated in college in May. Okay, yeah, I'm gearing up. This time next year. Hi, Beth. I'm glad you love fall too. It's my favorite season. I'm an autumn, right? Are we all autumns? I think this time next year, our live plan can just be that I'll just cry for the whole life, because this guy will probably be off at college by then. And we can just have a big cry session. That'll be fun for everybody, right? No problem. Yes, fall's your favorite, Allison. Fall's the best. Well, okay, so on that note, the tech guy has been doing creative maker stuff for as long as I've known him. I have shared this before, but I am not crafty. Words are my medium, but when it comes to like building stuff, even putting a shelf together, like forget it. Painting anything, I have shared that I love watching other artists work, seeing that visual experience, but that is not my skill set. The tech guy, on the other hand, the tech guy is trying to kick the cat out right now. Oh, she left.
She's getting close to cords.
Uh-oh. He has always been super crafty as long as I've known him. We met my junior year of college, and ever since I've known him, super crafty. So many projects. But the reason initially I think it's twofold. Etsy started because I don't know if this is true for you, and I'm super curious, but if I have read a book or a movie, I've seen a movie, and I just sort of want to keep inhabiting that space after I've finished. You know, when you read those books that you don't want to have end, or you see a movie and you just want to live in that space, or sometimes like I'll spend the next day like Googling background information about an author or a story or a movie or anything like that. That's sort of the initial way that even having an Etsy shop began, because I would have readers who would be like, I want to live in Tort a little bit longer. Could you do like a Tort mug or a Tort apron? And this was earlier on in writing the series, all of my series. And at the time I was like, oh gosh, I don't even know how to do that. But I would say to the tech guy, like, oh, wouldn't that be cool at some point if we could have like tort mugs? And then, of course, because I am not visual, when I'm writing, and I've talked about this too, I transform my office. I try to inhabit that space. So then, like if I'm testing recipes, right now I'm testing recipes for book 14. No, I'm testing recipes for book 15. Yeah. What am I saying? I'm testing recipes for book 15, which will be out next spring, and we should have a cover reveal for that coming up soon. But I digress. If I'm in the kitchen and I'm wearing a tort mug and I've got my little tort apron, like I kind of get to live in that zone for a while too. And also then the evolution of it started because the tech guy was like, well, I think we initially priced out buying mugs. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can do this. You can get things printed. You can do print on demand, POD. And you can get promotional companies to make them. But that stuff always looks so cheap to me.
And it was expensive too.
It was not cost effective.
And the one thing that I always like to talk, especially like if I'm teaching new writers, is the idea that, I think there's sometimes this very false perception that if you get a book deal or you write a book, that suddenly you're a millionaire overnight. And that is not true. It's still not true. I'm so happy that I get to be able to write for my career, but the tech guy has a day job. And so for him, it was sort of fun to think about like, okay, because I think we priced out doing just a few mugs and aprons, and it was like a super high price point where we're like, oh, okay, that's going to be expensive and it's not going to be super cute. So you were like, well, I could just play around with it. And also you wanted the equipment. Let's be real. You wanted the equipment.
I wanted my tools. My tools.
Yeah, that's really the truth. He was like, oh, well, actually, if I just bought, like the heat press, or I don't know. Actually, I don't even know what you make it on. Is it a heat press?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. If you make I sort of listen. If you make a mug on a heat press, he was like, of course, using his math skills against me. He'd be like, well, if we just bought the heat press and I designed it and I did it all myself, we'd actually be saving money, and then he would be quality control. Yes, it is, Julie, 100%. Allison, you have your own tech guy. I love it. Jennifer, you're working on your bread baking confidence. Do it. Bake the bread. It doesn't matter, even if it's like not great to start. In fact, I also want to share a picture. I've been trying to work on my piping skills and I'm terrible. I'm such a novice at it, but I totally love the practice and like trying to take away that perfectionism, right? That it's all about the process and the experience, and who cares? Because I bet that at the end of the day, even if your sourdough doesn't look beautiful, I bet it will taste great. That's my advice. Anyway, so one thing though that you might not know about me, I have talked about the fact that I worked in speech therapy in early intervention for quite a few years before I shifted into writing. But you might not know that for a few years prior to writing, I was writing and working on terrible books at the time. But after I left speech therapy, I started a gift box company with two of my girlfriends. We were in our late 20s at the time. One of my friends and I were working at the ESD together, and we were both sort of burnt out. And it's kind of like what I'm saying about the tech guy with his day job. Like we wanted something fun and creative to do. And the tech guy was working at an ad agency at the time, and he had gotten a promotion. And I wanted to send him something, but there was nothing at the time. So this is definitely, we got to go back to like pre-iPhones for this, right? This was kind of at the start, was this like late 90s? I think it was like 99 maybe?
Yeah.
1999 probably. Yeah, so we're dating ourselves here, but we're still spring chickens, right? The tech guy got a promotion and there was nothing to send him. Like flowers didn't quite, yes, I know, Kayla, just wait. He dug up pictures, which I can't believe. I can't wait to show you. So my friends and I decided, well, we'll do these fun, like office-y boxes. We weren't making any of the product. We were just like sourcing it. So the name of the company was Urbana Box, like urban box. And we started just in my garage, in our little tiny garage. Our first house was 800 square feet in Woodstock in Portland. And we started like creating these fun boxes. So we had like a tech box with like thinking putty and Rubik's cubes and pop rocks and just like something that would appeal to potentially, a younger demographic, perhaps a more officey crowd. And then it just really like expanded from there. So you have pictures to show? Yeah. Okay, this was our warehouse. Those are all boxes. They were these reusable plastic boxes, and then we would do different themes. And we had to put these boxes together. So how many hours did we spend just like...
They shipped flat and they had metal snaps, so it, like your fingers were just wrecks at the end of the night.
Totally. Also, wait, go back. Look at how old those computers are.
I know, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah. So then what happened is we just kind of started this on a whim. We had no idea how to run a business. We were in special ed, and my other friend was working on a counseling degree at the time. So we had no business savvy whatsoever. But it was kind of that time when the internet was just sort of taking off. We had a website. We could ship things. We would deliver. We would hand deliver. I had my little tiny Subaru Legacy that I would drive all over Portland and hand deliver these gift boxes. But then it took off, and we were doing corporations.
The corporate orders were that's where like that stuff came
exactly.
into play.
Yeah, that we like Microsoft ended up being a client. That was the tech box. They were so retro. Look at that. There's our little logo. That was like an 80s retro box. Like, of course, we had books in them. And now it's so funny to think back because this concept is everywhere, right? I think this was like a New Year's party box. Is that right? Coffee. Oh, yeah, and a CD. Kobo's Coffee was my favorite coffee in Portland. They went out of business, but every holiday season would have cinnamon nut spice. It was just the best thing you've ever tasted in your entire life.
Well, and they did a special blend.
Yeah, that's right. They did an Urbana Box
blend. That it says Urbana Box blend right on it.
I totally had forgotten that too. So we did this for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, and then ended up selling the company. I don't even remember what DeRoyal was. That was some sort of holiday box.
No, but everybody will recognize that logo. That was
Intel, yeah. Steph, we were ahead of our time. It's so fun now to see like the bookish boxes and the subscription boxes. And like I said, people, I remember initially they would be like, no, we don't want to order that online. Because the tech guy was like, oh, we're going to have a website for this. And people would be like, well, can I call you? Like, I don't feel comfortable shopping online. So funny. So that is kind of a touch of the evolution of now Etsy, where I had kind of forgotten that I have this like cellular memory in the back of my brain for anything, cute and crafty. Although, like I said, we weren't making any of that. We were just like sourcing the products, putting them together, shipping them out. I know, Becky, it is fun. And I do think it all ties back to that idea of like escape a little bit and wanting to share joy out in the world. And so fun. So then once the tech guy got his gear, I think it's really turned into you. Like much like writing is for me, it's self-help. It's that mental break. Like if you could be creating Etsy shop items all day, that would be like your sweet spot. Yes.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would definitely. That would be an awesome full-time job.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the goal. Like not just your shop. Like I have my own stuff that I want to make that's a little more guy-centric. But
what are you saying?
I'm not saying anything because I love making this stuff, and hopefully that comes through. But it started out really for book talks and stuff, so we could take a few little things to book talks, and do giveaways and stuff, and then it's kind of the internet has kind of blown that up.
Yeah, and I mean, Etsy was certainly not around back in the day with Urbana Box, so that evolution is just amazing to think about how far things have come, and that somebody wouldn't call you and be like, I don't want to buy this on Etsy. Could I just call you and do that? Paula, I have visions of doing a limited amount of book boxes for your first debut. You totally should. I mean, I think there's something about that idea. Brene Brown, in fact, I meant to find it for tonight, and I'll try to remember and share this one out too. Brene Brown did this piece about why, oh no, don't tell the hubby that the tech guy's going to do guy things. Yes, you will be in trouble. Let's talk about that in a second. But what I want to say about Brene Brown is that she has this whole piece on why we sort of want to keep living in those worlds, that it's good for our mental health to kind of just live in that space a bit longer. So Paula, I'm there, and I will be the first one to sign up for one of your bookish boxes. Bring it on. Okay, so some of the guyish things that he's thinking of, it's been fun because what happens is you are the creator, but we collaborate. Like we'll have a brainstorming meeting where we sit down and we'll go, okay, like, and a lot of it has also come from, let's be real, things that you've bought me over the years. Like all things bookish, candles.
Yeah. And that's, I guess I use that as a lot of the inspiration, and it's just more fun to make stuff. So hopefully when I do make stuff for you, it doesn't come across as like the little clay, like fired clay hand, soap holder that literally everyone makes when they're in elementary school.
Right.
I try to raise the bar a little bit higher than that now. So
you do, but what we'll do is we'll sit down and we'll have like a brainstorming meeting and think about like, okay, it's fall. Fall is my favorite season. Like, what are the potential scents? You got all of these candle tester scents. So we had a whole Saturday a few weeks ago where we just like were smelling and smelling and smelling and smelling. And there was a whole collection that I said, I don't think that's really a match for what I think Tort would smell like, but that's where you're going to go with your guy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how many did we go? We tried like 200 different scent combinations to land on the ones that we're making now. And so if there's ever a spill in my shop down there, the house is gonna smell like whatever scent that is for years to come.
Totally. And it is a little bit, for me, one thing that's been super interesting and that I never anticipated is that it's actually really helped inform my writing too, which maybe sounds strange to think about, but if I'm picking up a candle, I spend a lot of time researching, and I talk about this all the time, like, being out in coffee shops and bakeries and in my home kitchen. But there is something else about that, like, fully immersive sensory experience that I imagine, like, oh, this is what it would smell like if I walk into Tort and Andy's brewing, a cardamom latte, or if I'm lighting a candle, then, which I always do when I write anyway, but if it's, this signature scent that I've created, like it just brings that world to life that much more. Esther says, could I just drive to Ashland and pick up? I'm in the hood. Yeah, totally. Do it. Laura, I am drinking water. I'm hydrating because we're back in smoke. And the mug, should I give him a little teaser of this one?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
It says, hello, Autumn. And I get this one because the tech guy is also a super perfectionist. I can't even see it, but apparently he thinks there's something not quite right on this particular one. So I get to keep this one. We have a bad batch pile.
It's exactly. There's a bad batch box. One of these days I'll probably put that stuff up on Etsy and sell it at cost, because that, like, you can't see that, but I see it, and I would never send something like that out because I'd be mortified if somebody was like, oh, what she's talking about is the words "Hello, Autumn" slightly ghosted, like maybe an eighth of an inch to the left. They're just barely there, but I can see them.
I can see it.
Bad Batch.
We're going to do a Bad Batch.
Yes.
In fact, we should have just like a Bad Batch giveaway night.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Steph, a candle that smells like the Merry Windsor. Oh my gosh, that would be so awesome. Oh, maybe we should do that. That's like Jelly Bellies. You know how they had the Harry Potter
the
beans?
belly flops.
Yeah, oh, well, the belly flops. But I was thinking like the bad Harry Potter,
like
boogers.
Yeah.
Or how did they say it? Boogies.
Grass,
yeah, grass,
bogies,
vomit,
yeah.
bogies, yeah. Anyway, okay, so without further ado, should we get to it? Oh, and we're going to give some stuff away tonight, right?
Right.
What do they need to do?
Just keep commenting.
Just keep commenting. Go pick some random.
Yeah, I've got my randomizer. But we'll do it after the reveal, because otherwise it won't make much sense if what you're winning is you haven't seen it yet.
Yes.
So.
Birdie bots, Chantel, right? They're the best.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I have this one, That Spice Life. I'm having smell issues with this candle. Like I'm a huffer or something. It's like having a newborn baby in the house, because this is what I dream of with fall. I don't know what is it for you in fall. For me, it's like the warming spices and just that sense of like already the leaves are changing. I can't tell if it's from smoke or a combination of actual weather starting to change, but this is my all-time favorite. It has, now I have to do this because I got my new prescription. It is toasted pumpkin spice and notes of ginger, and it is like, I don't know, smell heaven. That's all I can say. Okay, anything pumpkin, right? Yeah, Kimberly, I'm with you. Okay, now I am going to admit this to you because we're all friends. I don't love pumpkin spice lattes. I know. This is like talking about the fact that sometimes I dog ear books. It feels wrong, but I'm just not a fan. I love the smell of it. I love the thought of it. I love pumpkin. Like, I love baking with pumpkin, but the actual pumpkin spice latte, it's a little too much for me. I'm not a huge fan of a sweet latte, though. If you gave me a cardamom latte, actually, there was a place called Mon Ami that used to make like a true pumpkin puree, just like a little touch of it with some cardamom and orange in a latte. I loved that. But I know I feel like sacrilegious just saying that I'm not a fan, but I support the pumpkin spice life. And I love the smell of it. It's not my taste, so don't hate me. Okay. Stephanie, I love a chai too. I could go all in with chai. Bite your tongue. Beach bum bookworm. I'm sorry. I know. Is this it? Am I dead now? DED, dead. It's over. Is someone going to die? Somebody needs to die in the next bake shop because they don't like pumpkin spice. Okay, Tiffany, cheers to you.
We've got a couple people.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm not fully out on a limb on that, but I'm not saying that I don't like the trend. Clearly, like I love the idea of it, but yeah. Be brave, Esther. Okay, I know. Okay, this one is sweater weather, and maybe at some point in time I will have to show you my sweater collection. I do also have a sweater problem. They are in the basement at the moment because they're not necessary quite yet, but we do live in the mountains, so come like mid-October on, it's all sweaters all the time. It's like leggings, cozy socks, and a sweater. And I have always been a sweater lover as long as I can remember.
We have a separate closet for the sweaters.
I do have a separate closet for the sweaters, although I still have like some of the sweaters I've had since like college. I keep them all. I have a hard time giving up sweaters. Paula, you do too. Okay. And I have to say that not only did the tech guy and the tech guy is hand pouring all of these candles, and he's very particular about that too. This is the tech part that comes in with your creativity, I feel like, because I would just sort of like pour them all in and be fine. But finding the right.
My blood pressure just went up 10 points.
It's true though. So I don't even know what I was going to say. Something. Oh, you hand pour them all, and then he designed all of the cute lids too. Sweater Weather has cranberry marmalade and apple harvest, so it feels like what you would. And this is what I love. I love, and this I think tracks back to my writing. I love saying to him while we're like smelling all of these scents together, like, oh, what would it be like if Jules was out at the pear orchards, like walking through the orchards in a cute fall sweater? Like, that's what I want the candle to smell like.
This one was really inspired by when we used to live up north and would go out in the gorge, Columbia River Gorge, to the Fruit Loop. Which, this just in maybe like a month from now, there was time of year we would go and pick apples and stuff. And I just remember that scent of picking the apples and then going back to like the barn/store. And they always had like cider and, warm juices going in there. It was like the perfect time of year.
Perfect. So perfect. Okay. What do we have next?
Okay.
Last but not least, we have Comfy Cozy. We have to have Comfy Cozy since I write a cozy series. So this is like the candle that I would curl up with a soft blanket and a stack of books on the couch. I would probably pour myself a chai or some kind of steaming tea, maybe a cider. I don't always drink like I'm a morning coffee drinker for the most part, but like afternoon, not so much. So if I was having like an afternoon reading sesh, this is what I would have. It has spiced honey and brandied pear. Yeah, right? I know. It's the best season. How can you not love it? Jan, oh, that's a good question.
It's actually a good question. So all the candles, I put a bunch of instructions on the label on the bottom. It's super important that you always, and this is just a tip for anybody, not just these candles, but any candles, always keep the wick trimmed to 1/4 of an inch. Don't let it get any longer, because it'll make the candle tunnel, which I'm sure everybody has had happen, where it just goes down the middle. I know all our candles are constantly tunneling, which then they're just you've wasted half the wax. So Jan asked how many hours. If you keep the wick trimmed and it's not in a room where there's a breeze that would fan the flame and everything, these candles can last approximately 35 hours. 35. There are 8 ounces of wax at least. I usually put in a little more, but yeah, keep the wick trimmed. That is the key. And also burn it for at least 2 hours the first time.
I never knew this. You've done a deep dive on candle research for this.
Yeah.
And this is why this is part of the reason.
Right.
You have to start like when you get a fresh candle, right?
Right. You have to light it and let it burn for at least 2 hours first, because if you don't, what will happen is the wax that melts, it won't give it enough time for the wax pool to reach the edges of the tin. And then the wax on the outside will still be fresh and new, so it's harder, and the wax in the middle will melt faster the next time you light it, so it will start tunneling again. And tunneling is bad.
We don't like the tunneling.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons that we opted for the tins is because they're the easiest to reuse. Like when you get down to the end of a tin, tell them the trick that you learned to like wipe it out, and then you could reuse it for something.
Yeah, so once you get to the bottom of the tin, you can take a match or a lighter or something and just melt the last bits of wax and wipe them out with a paper towel. And then rubbing alcohol actually will get the remaining wax residue out of the tin, and then you can use them for anything. They're great. The lids stay on really well. So if you were really crafty, you could mount like a magnet bar to the wall and stick these to the bar with ticks or tacks and ticks. Yeah, ticks. I was gonna say Tic Tacs. I don't know why, but yeah, probably not Tic Tacs, but paper clips. Whatever. They are definitely reusable.
Steph, does anyone remember putting your fingers in melted wax and then peeling off your fingerprint as teenagers? Is it weird that sometimes I still want to do that when I'm writing a mystery? Like, I admit that I have done that more recently than my teenage years, perhaps when I'm in the middle of writing a book. That's true. Lorraine, I know, I didn't know that either. And now I have to like be very conscious of my candle burning. And trimming the wick because, you know, I know they should be, right? I can't send you actual Tort baked goods, so it's the next best thing. But these are all, again, kind of like the tone and the flavors that I imagine in Tort and that hopefully like capture what is included in my writing for sure. And they all smell good.
And another thing about this, about them being edible, that like if you were to eat the candle,
gross.
You would be all right. Everything in it is toxic free. No, don't eat it. But I'm just saying it would make you no more sick than eating a crayon. It's 100% soy wax. All the fragrances are toxin and chemical free. They do smell good enough in their concentrated form to drink, and I've been tempted, but I haven't done it yet.
Don't do it. Resist temptation. Ooh, although that's a way that somebody could get murdered in a book. I love it. Okay. Those are the candles. And then, oh, these are so cute. These are wooden signs that the tech guy, well, you talk about how you've come up with them. I have one, I don't know if you can see it. I have one on my shelf up here. I love decorating the house for fall. I have my fall leaves behind me. So as soon as September hits, back to school, I like to put a touch of fall up everywhere. So
I just, no comment on that one yet.
Jennifer,
I have a friend.
I don't go down to the basement ever, so you know.
I have a friend that did it once. Yeah, so this is one of my tools / toys.
Toys.
It is. I have a laser cutter that I like to experiment with, and this just I've always liked signs like these, and so I thought, hey, I'm going to try and make them, and so this is made from Baltic birch plywood, and so like the wood grain that's on the frame and everything is actually laser etched in, so it gives it a more of a hardwood look. And then I took the design, cut it out, and then hand stained it with little touches of fallish colors for it. So it's like it's smallish. I mean, it's really meant to decorate like a shelf or the top of a hutch or something. It's 8 by 8 inches, so they're not huge, but they do take a while to put together. And I can't remember. It's close to 1/2 inch thick, I guess. So it's really light though. So you could use like 3M command strips or something to hang it on the wall if you wanted to. But I think they make for cool decorations.
And it's totally what Tort would have on the counter, like, next to the canisters of coffee and everything like that.
Oh, thank you, Junior.
I know, he is. It's true. And I don't know if you went into this, but like you designed it, you cut it on the laser cutter, then you're like hand painting and staining it too. Mm-hmm. Another project which you would never want me to do because it would not look like that. There would be paint everywhere.
Oh, and I have video of the laser cutter, but I forgot to put it in the slides.
So okay, well, we'll have to share that.
We'll have to share that later,
too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so we did that one and then this one.
Oh, so cute. That's the one I have up, although mine's slightly...
Yours was the test run.
I get the test. So I get the bad batch.
I didn't do the...
They're not so bad. I would still be like, this is amazing.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, yeah, totally. It's true. I know.
Okay. Next up is the mug.
The mug. Cheers to that. And I have shared this in books before, but this is one of my favorite tips. If you are going into fall season and it's cold and it's chilly and you have cold hands like me, I always have cold hands. Even in the middle of summer, I have cold hands. My tip that I learned from a pastry chef many, many years ago is you fill your mug with water. You put said mug into the microwave for 1 to 2 minutes, heat up the water, pour the water out into something else, and then I save it to like water my houseplants. And then fill it with your coffee, your cider, your chai, whatever. And then your mug stays warmer for longer. It's amazing. It's my favorite tip. If you like a really hot drink, do it. That's the best.
Oh yeah, happy fall, y'all. I thought about doing that, and in fact, when I launch my store, I
okay.
will have.
You'll have happy fall, y'all.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because it didn't fit the brand.
It didn't fit the brand. So. Yeah, I'm not in the South, but right. I do love that saying. But you don't hear that so much in the Pacific Northwest. I think you're starting to now. Like, it's caught on. But, yeah. Oh, yeah. KJ, it's true. It's her signature tip. 100%. Yes, Stephanie, right? You preheat your mug. Uh-huh. Your grandma's a smart woman. I now also have an ember mug, which is always hot, but that's another story. Oh, yeah. Every morning I think about warming my mug after you poured your coffee, right, Michelle? And then you can't go back. Like, once the coffee is in there is no turning back. We're not dumping out the coffee. No way.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. These are so cute. The Hello Autumn t-shirts in maroon. Well, it's like a mauve.
It's heathered mauve,
it's actually. Heathered mauve and then a sage. And we spent a lot of time on these t-shirts, too, because I like a t-shirt that feels really nice. When we first started and you had created like a tort t-shirt, we just bought like, I don't know, like a couple dozen of like your basic, I can't even think of the brand, Jockey, or I don't know, one of the like brands that you would find anywhere. And they aren't as buttery and soft as these. So I am going to be wearing one of these this week while I drink out of my mug and imagine. I think, I don't know if tort, I've never done this. I think I've done this for a holiday book, but I can imagine that Jules might have staff wearing like a special seasonal shirt at some point.
That's fine.
Happy Fall A. Yeah, right.
Steph, I could totally do that, and all the leaves would be red maples.
Maple leaves, yeah, that's great. I love it. Lorraine, do we have those in sweatshirts? No, the thing is, right now, Etsy for us is just, it's like a fun, collaborative, creative project. At some point, like the tech guy has said, like, I think that would be your long-term goal eventually.
Yeah. I mean, the hard part with that is just having to buy in quantity. And what do we do with, 200 shirts and t-shirts and everything, or sweatshirts. So it's really just balancing out what people want versus what we could have actual room to store. Yeah,
that too. Yeah. I love it. Although you have said, like, if somebody wanted to, they could message the Etsy shop and we could do like a one-off custom order.
Yeah.
Especially if the design was already there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did several custom orders for the holidays last year and the year before.
Yeah, exactly. I know. And a hoodie. I do love a good hoodie for fall too. Yeah. It's true. I know. One day we'll get there.
Well, the same company that makes these shirts, which keep getting amazing reviews just for the feel of them, they make sweatshirts and stuff too. Okay. So anyway. Okay.
Book bags, finally. This has been the most requested item, book bags. Book bags, I don't know if there's like necessarily, we went back and forth on this in terms of, is there like a fall book bag? I feel like for my book bags, I can't remember if I shared that video here. If not, I'll share my video of my collection of book bags. I have way too many. But I don't really have so many seasonal ones. So we went with more like standard books that bookish. You can do all year long. Yeah, I do love a good tote. I use them for grocery shopping, for regular shopping. I'm always down with having a tote or two or 20 around. Yep, I just died. I know. It's problematic, Lillian. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, yeah, a tote bag. Are you saying a tote, Karen? Or are you saying a tort tote? We've thought about that, too. We could have a tort tote.
Oh, that's funny. I read it as
bakery.
Tort bags, but it does say tote bags. Yeah, there you go.
I love it.
Yeah.
A bag lady, me too. I have a serious bag, a sweater and a bag problem, and a candle smelling problem, and we could just kind of keep going.
Okay.
And then my weekend is booked. I love that saying. That's my favorite. And this bag is a little bit bigger too, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go back. This one is I'm just looking it up real quick because I can't remember off the top of my head. It is like 16 inches tall and 13 inches wide, but it expands out about 4 inches. So it's a pretty, and it's also pretty thick, yeah. And it has really long handles, like 28-inch long handles. So it's for the biggest library or bookshop hauls you can imagine.
Yeah, right.
Even though it's a smaller bag, because this one is actually 16 inches high by 15 inches wide, so it's a little bit wider, but it doesn't expand out as much. So we will need to actually. I'm looking at these. I'm like, the perfectionist in me is like, that is so wrinkled. We got to take that shot again.
No, I don't. It's fine. Please don't. It's fine. I don't want to have to take pictures again.
But we do need to show, I do want to show them like being carried with stuff in them so people get an idea of how big they are. But anyway, hopefully the designs work. So
they're super cute.
Yeah.
Trisha, you have a shoe problem. I don't have a shoe problem so much. I mean, I love shoes, but I go more on the sweater, but we'll have the tech guy work on his cobbling skills. Yeah, get on that. I have a tea and cozy mystery problem. Yep. I feel you, Stephanie. Yep, I have that as well. And a wax melt problem. I love the different fonts that have been used.
I'm a font guy. I think I probably have about 600 fonts, which is so I have a font problem. How about that?
You do have a font problem. It's true.
Oh, and Stephanie wax melts. Yeah, so I can totally make those too. Maybe that'll come to my Etsy shop. I don't know. I like wax melts too.
And a scarves problem, and a blanket and socks. Yep. And a book problem, right, Laura? Yeah, we're just,
These are all good problems to have.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good problems to have.
Way worse problems.
Yeah. And I think last but not least, right?
Yeah, I have some of them out. Look at how cute these stickers are. It's a huge pack too. I can't fan them all out because they're so big. I'm going to show you my favorite one though, which I can't believe you made. I didn't know you were making this one. It says, "You either believe that Thanksgiving is the best holiday or you are wrong." That's true for me. True for me.
Yeah, and these aren't my that one is I edited to make Thanksgiving, but these aren't my designs, but I make the actual stickers.
Yeah,
so
he cuts the stickers.
And then they're printed on vinyl sticker paper, and then I laminate them with this UV like this matte finish. It's like buttery smooth. It's so I just like to hold these in my hands, but these things are water and sun resistant, so that I've upgraded all the stickers in the shop actually to this new process because I learned how to do it and I love it. I have a sticker problem too, which is why you guys keep seeing stickers show up in Ellie's Etsy shop, because I have thousands of them.
So does the kid.
Yeah.
Megan, there's a Halloween one in there for you too. Yes. So you're good. It's all covered. All the fall holidays are in there. We got it. Yeah, so that's the fall line, right?
So
yes.
So yes, there are some. I have some really cool earrings coming that I think are cool designs.
They're awesome.
But two things happened that delayed them. One was the shipping delays that Ellie was talking about earlier, and then the other one was I actually injured myself and have been limping around the house in a grumpy mood for 3 days now.
Yes.
So I'm working on fixing it. So it's but anyway, so those will be coming maybe next week.
The wood just came today.
Yeah,
so,
the wood just came today, so I'll get those. And oh yeah, and bookmarks. We've talked about bookmarks a lot. We have ideas, designs for them. It's just a matter of how. Well, we should informal poll.
Yeah.
What kind of bookmarks? Because I see people commenting about bookmarks. What kind of bookmarks are you looking for? Because there are a lot of different ways to make them. You can make them out of cardstock. They can be
or like
laminated,
this material,
or like kind of
yeah.
the more laminated material. And everything's so subjective. It's what I like is probably not going to be like the thing that's most popular in the store.
And I already disclosed that
I know,
don't use bookmarks.
Jeez.
So that's a problem.
Right.
Oh, tour bookmarks, those could be fun. Yeah, and we have the map coming soon too. So maybe we could do something with that.
Yeah, magnetic bookmarks are cool.
Yeah. Very good. Wood or cardstock, says Karen. Nice.
Yeah, wood is cool. I just the only problem with wood is if you go any thinner than like an eighth of an inch, they're like, and you cut any sort of design in it, it just becomes so weak that it'll break. And I would feel bad about selling something that somebody would break within a week.
That would be problematic.
Yeah. But I'm getting a lot of tassels, laminates. The suggestions are all over the map. So
get on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's totally yep.
Yeah, you've got to have like something warm and cozy, and then you don't want to spill on it.
Right.
That's awesome. Yes, so that is the fall Etsy preview and a little like behind the scenes of how it came to be and all of that good stuff.
This came up earlier, and
are you going to
so
have
talk about
yes,
it.
We are. You're going to get giveaways together. We are going to have a winter holiday line. In fact, we're meeting this Friday. We schedule our like brainstorming sessions because we both, the tech guy has a day job like I talked about, and I'm usually writing. So on Friday, we're going to have our winter holiday line brainstorming meeting, and then the tech guy's going to go work his magic and do his thing. So in a minute, I'm going to show you all of the fall lives because we finished brainstorming that last week, and one of those is going to include the winter Etsy line. Okay, let's see what else. Wendy wants to know what your Etsy shop is called.
I don't have a graphic for it prepared.
That's okay.
But if you search for Ellie Alexander author on Etsy, it's actually etsy.com/shop/Ellie Alexander author. Ellie Alexander author is the username. So that's
it. And Becky wants to know, are all of the tort recipes on your website? I'm embarrassed that I haven't looked. No, not all of them. No. In fact, not many of them really. Most of them are just in the back of the books. I shouldn't say that. Over the years, I've made quite a few recipes. For a while there, we were doing these tort test kitchens, but then our kiddo was in school, like I've talked about, for a year and a half in the dining room and kitchen. So those kind of went by the wayside. But my YouTube channel has all the archived recipes. And then last year we did 12 days of cozy bakes. The year before we did 31 days of cookies and 31 days of pies. So all of those recipes are up on my website or on my YouTube channel. So you can definitely find them there. But no, not all of the tort recipes from the books are out there. At some point in time, another checklist would be a cookbook, but that's a whole other beast.
It's probably easiest to find them on your YouTube channel.
I think so too, yeah.
I mean, if your webmaster, web designer ever got in gear and made the site better, it'd be easier on the website, but not right now.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
I'm her webmaster / web
yeah,
designer.
exactly. Jennifer wants to know, do you all ever disagree about the items for the Etsy shop? Definitely. I think more so on like scents. Like if I like a scent, I like it. If I don't like it, I don't like it at all. So you would be like, just give that one another try. And I would say, no way.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest thing, right?
Stuff was the test kitchen.
There's been a few bookish like designs that I didn't love as much that I was like, right. initially, but we don't usually.
No, if anything, it's usually like you will look at something and go, "Oh yeah,
It's
that's great," and I'm like, "What does great mean?" Like, great is like something that a parent tells like a 6-year-old that thinks they just painted the Mona Lisa, and it really doesn't look anything like that. So,
Or like I would say, this is great. Like this looks perfect to me, and you'll be like, no, there's this tiny bit of ghosting that no one else could ever
you'll
see.
never be able to show it on camera
because it doesn't exist.
It's there.
Perfect. Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah. It's true.
Oh, thank you, Stephanie. That is the Etsy address right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we are gonna. Yeah, I know, Julie.
wait.
It would be so great. I do have a YouTube channel.
So that's also Ellie Alexander Author. So youtube.com/Ellie Alexander Author.
That's true.
Yeah.
So many videos, you won't even know what to do with yourself. You'll be like, okay, I'm done.
And
I know. I just don't have the time.
yeah.
That is true. Yeah, good point, Aaron.
Yeah.
That would be kind of perfect. Maybe you could intentionally ghost it on like some sort of like Halloween mug. That would be great.
Yeah, I'd probably try to do that, and it would turn out perfectly.
Yeah,
instead
right.
of
Exactly.
like
No
instead,
ghosting.
yeah. Okay. Let's see. Cool.
Are you doing?
No, we'll do that in a minute.
Okay.
You can. You want to talk about the books that are out right now?
Yes.
Or the book that's out right
The
now?
book, yes. Without a Brew just came out in paperback a week ago. So if you're hankering for some Leavenworth, some cozy winter vibes up in the northern Washington Cascades, grab that copy. I really do want this to be my public service announcement to you all, and I am not saying this about buy my book. I'm saying like any book that you want to buy, though, pre-order or order from your local independent bookstore soon for the holiday season. Do not wait, because there is a good chance that there might not be a lot of stock with all of these shipping and supply chain delays. So please, please, please do that. You do not need to buy my books. I'm not saying that, but I am saying if you have a book that you're just dying to get your hands on, do it early.
And help the indie bookstores out, because they're going to experience the pinch too. Getting, if your favorite bookseller is going to be pulling their hair out waiting for the shipments to arrive each week.
Or if they don't arrive,
right.
or if they only, they have a book that they think is going to be a bestseller that they can only get 10 copies of. Yeah, for sure.
Or this. Yeah, this is definitely, oops, it keeps moving.
Yes, e-readers are great. E-readers are totally great. I mean, there will not be an issue with that with any book releases, but it's more if you want something that's print and or you want to support your local bookstore. Another great way to support indie bookstores, though, is just like you could also go in and buy if they have their own t-shirts or stickers or merch or things like that. So for sure. Okay, then The Cure for What Ails You, book number 5 in Sloan, comes out on October 5th. We're going to have a big launch party for that. I can't wait. This one is going to answer so many questions, and we're going to finally know answers to Sloan's past. That's all I'm going to say. And then December 28th, book 14. Holy smokes, I can't believe it. Book 14 of The Bake Shop, Bake, Borrow, and Steal comes out. We'll have a end of the holiday season release for that. I cannot wait to share this one with you either. This one involves a Shakespearean manuscript that goes missing, and it's set at the art gallery on the campus of Southern Oregon University, and it's set in late fall, so as you can see from the leaves and the vibe that's going on there, this one was so much fun.
This is very true.
Yes, Karen, good point. Yes,
so
absolutely.
make sure to ask them, because if they do sell ebooks, they'll be more than happy to hook you up.
Absolutely, totally. Okay.
I'm just going to do this once and hand you this paper, because I've got too many things sitting over here.
That's fine.
So we'll do the fun.
Okay. Our winners tonight are Esther Cruz Acosta, you are getting one of the Hello Fall or Autumn signs. Gretchen Snodgrass, you are getting stickers. Nicole Shipley is getting a candle. Kelly Thompson from YouTube is getting a book bag. And Allison Waymont, I hope I said that right, is getting stickers. Yay! You get the Tech Guys first Etsy fall goodies. So if your name was called,
we'll update the post with those names after this too. So
absolutely. But send me a private message and send me your mailing address, and then we will get those out to you this week. Yay!
And all the items are now live in the store. Don't worry if something sells out. We will try to get more. It's just a one-man show, so we can only make so many at a time.
Come on. You could work until like 2 a.m. every night.
I would love that, but
it's probably why his foot is all messed up, right?
Could be.
Okay, and then last but not least, what's coming up?
Oh yeah, we've got a lot coming up. So the results of another couple planning meetings, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so next week we're going to do an author Q&A and Ask Me Anything. I have like a whole list of questions that I didn't get to from the last one, so I will try to answer as many of those, but bring any questions you want to ask or chat about for fall, you name it, for anything. September 14th, my friend John from John's Cozy Corner is going to be my guest. September 21st, we're going to have Shakespeare School. My dad is going to be here for a visit, aka the professor. So we're going to do some fun professory Shakespeare quiz show.
He'll be here to correct all the grammar in your comments, so
True.
Don't worry.
Yeah. No, he won't. Not really. And then on September 28th, we're going to have the Tech Guy's Kitchen. We are going to have a live Tech Guy Cooks, correct? In the kitchen. It's happening.
Yeah, we might even have, we might do some special things. Yeah.
Okay, so that's September. Then in October, we'll have the Cure for What Ails You launch party. We're going to have my favorite fall reads and warm drinks. October 19th, I'm doing an event with Rediscovered Books, so I'll make sure to share info. Anyone can join in that.
But that won't be live on these channels. It'll
Not
be on
here.
Rediscovered Books.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And then October 26th, we'll have a Halloween party. Megan, Jamie, who else? Where are all my Halloween
Lillian.
peeps? Lillian, yep. Halloween. There will definitely be costumes. There'll be...
I hear Sky Guy Customs has some pretty cool stuff going on.
I wonder if he'll do an appearance. I have not asked him yet, but maybe it could happen. And then for the month of November, we're going to do the holiday winter Etsy launch party like tonight. I'm going to do a writer Q&A. November is NaNoWriMo, so for anybody who's working on a novel that month, this is the one for you. November 26th, I'm going to give you a preview of Bake, Borrow, and Steal. Then the week of Thanksgiving, we're going to do Thanksgiving trivia. And the last week of the month, we're going to do Giving Tuesday and the Tort Holiday Supper preview, which is going to be our holiday event for December this year. We have some things cooking that I can't talk about yet, but it's going to be great. There will be no comments that day. Oh, yeah, it's a step. Okay, yeah, I'm like, from what? Yeah. Lorraine, November 9th is your birthday. Yay, happy birthday. As always, thank you all so much for being with us on another Tuesday. It's so fun to get to hang out with you all. And I should end it with happy fall, y'all, right?
Right?
Yeah. Happy fall, eh?